And now joining us on the news to talk about this is Dr. Jide Johnson, a public affairs analyst. Thank you so much, Dr. Jide Johnson, for joining us.
Viewers all over the world.
All right, Dr. Jide, now the former President Olusegun Obasanjo, in his comment, did say that lawmakers in both the chambers of the National Assembly fix their salaries, even though the Senate spokesman, Adaramodu, has refuted this. What do you make of all of that?
Well, if Senator Ningi, who happens to be a senator representing Bauchi, could accuse the Senate of budget padding, and then he was summarily suspended, how much more will you think about them fixing their salaries and allowances, even though that core function is the core function of the Revenue and Fiscal Mobilization Committee, which is the committee that fixes the salaries of all public elected officials and other public servants. And so it's not out of place. So President Obasanjo must not have spoken out of place of ignorance. He must be privy to some certain information which you and I might not be privy to, which, the whole of National Assembly is run under secrecy. You don't even know what is going on within the National Assembly. And so if Obasanjo could come out boldly and accuse the National Assembly of fixing their salaries and the rest of it, you not fall on the National Assembly to come to town with whatever they are collecting in terms of releasing their pay slip for Nigerians to see. After all, they are representing the Nigerian people. They are elected to serve the interests of the Nigerian people. So they should show us their pay slip to discountenance what President Obasanjo has said.
Right. Now, what implications do you think could be there for public trust and legislative integrity if it were proven that the lawmakers actually had the ability to set their own salaries?
Well, the question we need to ask, what is the public trust in the National Assembly? What is the public trust in the political class? You see, the public trust in the political class is at its lowest ebb. Who has confidence in the National Assembly, which is meant to be the actual representative of the people, representing them? Are they representing our interests, or are they representing their interests? All you just need to do is just to go to town and do an opinion poll. And I can tell you that the National Assembly, in terms of credibility and trust index, will not get up to 35% in terms of the polling you get, because the confidence level of an average Nigerian in the National Assembly is at its lowest ebb, considering the way and manner in which the National Assembly over time has conducted itself. You look at this present National Assembly led by the Senate President, you've seen that he's gotten himself enmeshed in one form of controversy or the other. Let's talk about the Ningi issue concerning Senator Ningi's accusation of budget padding, or we talk about Senator Ndume's, the way Senator Ndume's issue was handled, or you talk about the one that the Senate President actually apologized for calling a senator representing Kogi Central not to think that the Senate is a clubber. So invariably the National Assembly has shot itself in the foot in terms of the way they've conducted themselves in the last few years.
I'm kind of curious to know what the potential impact would be on governance and on transparency if at all the suggestion by Obasanjo, to have the RMAFC set their salaries, the lawmaker salaries exclusively, if that were implemented. What implications should we be expecting?
The implication is that Nigeria does not have confidence and trust in the National Assembly to represent their interests. And then you need public trust in public governance. Once that trust is out of place, then there's no confidence in whatever you are doing, and invariably it affects the image of the government, and then it eventually affects the output of those that you have elected into public office. Are they serving the interest of the people? Are they serving their own? Are they serving their own interest? As far as an average Nigerian is concerned, they lack confidence in the entire system which we have concerning the democratic structure we have at the National Assembly. Are the National Assembly members representing the interest of their constituents, or they are representing their own selfish interest? In what way are they serving our interest? In what way are they doing the oversight function? In what way are they representing the interests of their various constituents to ensure that the various constituencies are not left out beyond their own salaries and wages? As far as an average Nigerian is concerned, they are just there to represent their own interests and not to represent the interests of an average Nigerian. Are they making laws for the good and betterment of the country? Are they carrying out their oversight function for the good and betterment of the country? It's always things that are of paramount interest to themselves that they address to. Look at the issue of when we are talking about minimum wages, and when we are talking about whether they should they should purchase expensive cars as their official car. You know, that itself damaged the reputation of the National Assembly. And in democracy, image is very, very important. Public confidence and trust in democratic structure is important for the sustenance of democracy and development in the society.
All right, Dr. Jide Johnson, a public affairs analyst, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your thoughts.
It's a pleasure to be with you. Thank you for having me.